In the U.S., every 11 minutes, someone dies by suicide. If you are struggling or know someone that's struggling, this episode is for you. Stay tuned to learn more on this episode of Inspire Iredell.
Welcome to Inspire Iredell. I'm Megan.
I'm Anna.
We are so delighted to have Susan Tolle here with us today. Susan and I have been friends for a long time.
Long time.
So Susan has been involved with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention for nearly 10 years as an educator, advocate, and volunteer extraordinaire. Yes. She has trained over 4,000 people. That is a lot of people. And basic information about helping them save lives and giving hope to those affected by suicide. She received the Governor's Medallion Award for volunteer service and the Charlotte Business Journal Healthcare Heroes Champion Award for her work. She's a past member of Iredell Health System and Iredell Health Foundation Board of Directors. So we don't know when she sleeps, but you're always busy. And I think a lot of our viewers and listeners have probably heard your name before or been one of those 4,000 people that you have spoken to because you are everywhere in this community. And we're so grateful for that. So thank you for being here.
I'm glad to be here and to talk about this. I think it's so important. The more that we talk about it, the more lives we can save.
Yes,
so that's the most important thing is to talk.
Yes.
So American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, we may refer to it as AFSP because it's quite the mouthful.
Yeah.
So talk to me about what you do with AFSP. I know we hit on a little bit of it, but can you kind of go into depth of your role?
Well, basically, I play three roles.
Okay.
I'm an educator, I'm a volunteer, and I'm an advocate.
Okay.
So I spend most of my time with the first two. And I'd like to spend more in advocacy, but I'd run out of time.
Yeah.
So my biggest enjoyment, if you can enjoy this topic, I'm very passionate about it. I guess I should say my biggest passion is education, is treating people like normal people who want to learn so they can help save lives.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of training. Our programs, we have a foundation program called Talk Saves Lives, and that's where I spend a lot of the time. We also have a program called More Than Sad. Another one, It's Real for Teens. Next week I get trained on caring communities. So the more I can get trained, the more I can go out.
Yeah.
And that's educating people so they know what to do and know what to watch for in people they sit beside.
Yes.
So it makes a huge difference. So I also bring other programs to, I don't want to say my clients, they're not my clients, but I bring other programs to the community. We have a program called Assist. I think you were in that, weren't you?
I'm not sure.
A couple years ago.
Maybe.
It's applied suicide intervention skills training, and for lack of a better description, it's how to talk somebody off the ledge.
Wow.
For
Yeah,
example,
no, I did not get to take that, but that sounds
it's amazing.
worthwhile. Yeah.
It's very expensive. AFSP pays for everything. Nobody is charged ever for any program.
Wow.
But it's a program where, for example, the Mooresville police told me about a call they had where a kid was on an overpass ready to jump. Now, you can pull up in your patrol car and get out and you can say the wrong thing and the kid jumps, or you can say the right thing and you save a life. So you have to know what to say, how to read a situation. And this is exceptional training. So that's just an example of one of the programs that we can offer. That's not an AFSP program, but we offer it.
Wow.
So that's my education piece. The other thing is advocacy. Do a lot of some work around advocacy, and AFSP makes it very easy. When there's an issue, they send us, this is who we want you to send emails to. This is the email. Fill this in, and hit send.
Wow.
So it's wonderful. So our our senators and representatives get the immediate information and can know where their constituents stand. So that's really good. We do things, we were very involved. AFSP was so involved in 988. You
So
know,
can you kind of explain 988?
988 is the National Suicide Hotline.
Okay.
And anytime anybody needs help, call 988. It is going to be answered. At first, when we first transitioned to that, we got millions of calls.
Wow.
Literally millions of calls. But it's, you pick up, you call the number 988. That's all you need to remember. It used to be 800 something. I can't even remember it anymore. Isn't that terrible? After all those years, I can't even remember it.
Well, then, I mean, how can
why
other
we made it
people
easy.
remember it?
That's
Right?
exactly the point.
Yeah.
And so we advocated, give us a 3-digit number that people will remember. So 988 has worked perfectly. Veterans can call that number and just hit 1, and it goes immediately to somebody who specializes in veteran crisis.
That's awesome.
So that's perfect, because
Yes.
that number is huge.
Yeah. Can you text it?
Yeah,
Yes.
741-741, you can text it.
741-741. Okay. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't just text 988?
No.
You have to text 741. Okay.
That's good to know, especially for teenagers or people that may be in such a crisis that they can't even get words out.
Exactly. I'm thinking, see, I'm going to do a plug for AFSP.
There you
Please
go.
do.
If you go to AFSP.org, you can get all kinds of information. And this one, for example, is firearms and suicide prevention. And on the back of every one of their resources, they have, on the back of every one of their brochures, they have the resources you can go to. So 741 is, text talk to 741-741.
Wow.
Okay?
Text talk to 741-741.
Yeah. So, another thing that we advocated for was making suicide prevention training mandatory in North Carolina. This was a local campaign; it wasn't national.
Okay.
So
Mandatory for who?
for high school kids.
Wow.
Wow. That's really amazing.
Well, not necessarily just high school. I think it might. I can't remember. It's been so long ago, but it was. I think it was maybe 5th or 6th grade and up. And so there is training that is provided. A lot of it's online. In my opinion, being an old teacher, nothing beats face-to-face learning. But a lot of it is online. And I look at this as at least it's accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's available to kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty much, advocating for things like 988. LGBTQ, it's up that when you call 988 and it's an LGBTQ, we will not have where you can punch and it's for LGBTQ. But trust me, there are skilled counselors if you just call the regular 988.
Yeah.
You're going to get help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that, and you know this, I have called 988 before with somebody else, like not for myself, but called them because there was a concern for a friend. And I wanted this person to be able to walk through, and I was so impressed. The person on the other end of the phone was very, they were very, very kind. You could tell that they had been trained and they knew what to say. Like, I felt like they could talk somebody off the ledge. And, and they in that situation, they gave this person some ideas of things to, like, look out for and just to think about in the future, And so I'm a big advocate for it as well. In fact, I have a magnet that I got at a mental health forum that actually Iredell sponsored months ago, and I put it on our fridge. And my husband was like, "Why are we putting that on the fridge? Like, is that necessary?" And I was like, "Well, because he's just thinking, And I said, "You know what? We have a teenage daughter. I'm like, maybe our daughter doesn't need it. Maybe, hopefully, she never will. But I don't know if she's ever going to have a friend here." And maybe they're grabbing a snack out of the fridge and they see it. And so he's like, "Oh, that makes sense, But so you just never know.
I have
all for 988.
a magnet for 988 on my gas tank. It's the only place in the back end of my car that I could find would
was
take a
magnetic?
magnet.
Really?
I was so upset. I have a wonderful magnet thing. It says "Out of the Darkness."
Yeah.
And another one that says hashtag Stop Suicide. You know, my car was kind of loaded, but now this car is,
That's a whole different subject,
in a lot of ways.
You just need a custom wrap. Just get your car wrapped.
That's what I
So,
need. Yeah. Actually, the guy that makes the banners for our walks, his company does wrap.
Really?
Yeah, and we have talked about that. You know, during the season, let me wrap your car.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that's fun.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
definitely people would see it.
Oh, they would see it. They would see
and the
it.
right people would probably see it too.
So then the third part of what I do is volunteer. And that's huge.
Yeah.
For
She's
7
here
years.
now with us.
Yes.
For 7 years, we've had the Out of the Darkness Walk. Here in Statesville, we attract people from surrounding counties. As long as we do the walk in Iredell County, it will always be in Statesville because Mooresville will encroach upon the Charlotte Walk.
Okay.
So we're not allowed to have it in Mooresville. But it has been tremendous. And those campaigns over the last 7 years have raised over $350,000. And that money is used for all these things I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing. The research that AFSP does is we're the largest nonprofit research organization in the world.
Wow.
So we have many, many scientists. There's a lot of science involved. You know, people are trying to figure out, well, can we do a biomarker to see if somebody has a tendency for suicidal ideation? You know, is there some way we can test to find this? There's so many research projects going on right now. It's amazing.
Wow.
So the volunteer work, I also do tabling events whenever there's a health fair, anything like that. We'll do a tabling event. Sometimes we have 3 booked at once.
I know how that is.
Yeah, you know how that is. I had to order more tablecloths.
Yes.
And then we do things like the Mooresville Fondo, which is this coming weekend, Sunday down at Mooresville. I'll be there at 5:30 in the morning. And we are one of the 3 beneficiaries of the proceeds. Everything that is raised after expenses are paid is for suicide prevention.
Wow.
And it's just amazing. It's just amazing. It compares to maybe what we get in a half of a campaign.
Wow.
So in one day. So it's amazing. So and then of course radio shows, TV shows, interviews, anything like that.
Podcasts.
Podcasts. Yeah. Yeah. This is pretty cool. I like this.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun.
So, man, you do so much work. And just thinking about how active you are and other volunteers are, you never know when you're going to meet someone that needs you or that you could give the tools to that they're going to use. You know, it could be 10 years down the road, but they'll remember what you said. And I know a lot of times people think talking about suicide is so taboo. What are some... Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Oh, here we go. Well, we're getting her started. So what are some myths that you want to talk about around suicide?
Well, I guess I have to start out talking about the stigma.
Okay.
Yes. Go for
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
When I first started this work back in 2016, I couldn't find anything.
Wow.
I mean, I could find some stuff, but not that much. And my daughter was in crisis. I mean, she came within this much of taking her life 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
So I needed help, and I didn't know how to help her. And I just kept running into this stigma everywhere I went. And I decided, I'm going to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because I think I've always said with my children, I can't help you if I don't know what you need help with.
Yeah.
And if you're not open with me, how can I be open with you? How can I help you if I don't know what you're going through? So we've always had a pretty good relationship. And so I started talking about it, and I remember clearly a friend of mine, very good friend of mine, said to me, It was after the first story. Remember, they used to do all those stories about Emily and me, my daughter and me, and it was after the first story, and it was on the front page of the newspaper. And this friend called me up, and she said, "Susan, how can you air your dirty laundry in the newspaper?"
Oh.
Imagine how I felt.
Right.
I mean, it was unbelievable to me that she would say that. And I don't look at my daughter's mental health crisis as dirty laundry.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's exactly what I was thinking when you said that.
Yeah. I mean, that was,
Shame on that friend.
yeah. So that stigma is something that we have to overcome. So in dealing with that, you know, people say, you know, she's crazy. That's why she's trying to kill herself. You know, or after the funeral or at the calling hours, I'll say, you know, he drove his company to bankruptcy. You know, they try to put it on something. That's the big myth. You can't, there isn't a single cause for suicide.
Right.
There's so much that's going on, a different function and structure in the brain. You know, suicidal people with suicidal ideation are very impulsive. And something that wouldn't drive them to take an action, the next day might.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they're driving down a tunnel. They don't look left or right or what their options are. They just look, they're going down the tunnel. And to them, it's peace at the end because they're gone. So, you know, it's we have to think, and I think you might have mentioned it earlier, we have to think about what is going on in their minds we don't know about.
Right.
Yeah.
So much we don't know about. And that's the importance of being kind. I have so many suicide prevention sweatshirts. And one of them just says, be kind.
Yeah.
And if you can be kind and you can talk to people and let them know you care, it can make such a difference.
Yeah.
Such a difference.
I've seen I have not bought one yet, but there's like sweatshirts and t-shirts where the back of it
Yes.
says
The
something
person
along the
behind me.
Yeah, to the person behind me, like, I think you're amazing or whatever. And I love that because I'm just like, whoever thought about that, I want to know what their story is.
There's a story behind
There's
it.
a story there. You know,
It's a guy was, I think, did it for his girlfriend who was struggling.
okay.
I think there is a story. I can't remember.
Okay.
what
Now I'm
it
going to
is,
have to look
but-
that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Another myth I'd like to talk about is my granddaughter, at the age of 12, attempted suicide.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And my daughter-in-law called me and said, she's thinking bad thoughts. And I said, how did you know that? She said, she told me. Thank God they have a relationship
Yeah.
that the child could tell her mother, oh, Mom, I'm really worried about, I might do something, you know? So that was good. But my son had the hardest time accepting the fact, thank you, accepting the fact that she was struggling. To him, this is it. It's a fad in the teenage girls, Mom. It's a fad. And it's a good thing I was 300 miles away. You know, because it's not a fad, it's real. And that's something that when you're talking in one of your other questions about how can we help people, don't minimize how they feel.
Right.
And that's exactly what I did with my daughter. How can you think this way? How can you feel like this is okay? How can you treat me like this? I've done everything for you. How can you treat your daughter like this? She has to watch you struggle like this. How can you do that? That's the worst thing I could have done.
But she didn't know.
I didn't know, which gets us to the warning signs.
Okay.
Can we talk about that?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
talk about it.
Okay. Another thing AFSP does. Most of their brochures, you open them up and it immediately goes to warning signs.
Okay. Okay.
To me, if people come to my training, if they don't learn anything but warning signs, it's a success.
Okay.
Because you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Talked to a person yesterday after the Board of Commissioners meeting in Mooresville. accepted the proclamation that Mooresville was proclaiming September 7th that week as World Suicide Prevention Week.
Okay.
And she followed me out to the lobby and told me that she had a loss, 24-year-old girl. And she said, I had no idea. I said there were warning signs.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I didn't see any of them. And I said, you know what? The biggest challenge we have is getting people to understand what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because if you understand what they are, then you can help, because you identify. I worked with one family who lost a son, and I do a lot of bereavement counseling. And the day after he passed, I went over to their home, and she said to me, I didn't see any signs. So I took my bereavement package, talked to them for a little bit, and it's just no time. That's not the right time to get into anything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so I went back in 2 weeks, and she said, I read your warning signs. He had 9 of them.
Wow.
But I didn't know what they were, you know? There are 22 signs in here.
Okay.
I'll just briefly tell you, my daughter had 14. And some of those 14, if you break them apart, you get to almost 22. But things like, she would tell me how much happier I would be if she were gone. She said to me one time, you'll get a raise, Mom. You won't have to spend money on me. Can you imagine being a mother and hearing that?
Yeah, no.
It's horrible. They give away things. I want so-and-so to have this. I want so-and-so to have that. She was very isolated. She didn't leave her condo for days, days and days. She, her physical appearance was not good. Sometimes they don't like to shower. They don't brush their teeth. I mean, when they are so clinically depressed as she was, everything about them changes. It's a very, very sad thing to watch. So, you know, she's a beautiful, beautiful girl.
Yes, she is.
And thank you. And to see that happen to somebody is just so heartbreaking. But I didn't know what to do. But eventually we got there. We got her in rehab. Her addiction was alcohol. And we got her in rehab. It took 3 times, but we did it. And she is in wonderful, wonderful place right now. So
so
it's
good to
great.
hear.
Yeah, it's great.
So isolation, giving things away, making those little kind of offhand remarks, you know, about being better off without me, that sort of thing.
It's really divided into what they say, what they do, and how they act.
Okay.
3 categories. So
How they
what
act.
they say, is it okay if I just go through them?
Yes, please.
do.
Okay. What they say, they talk about killing themselves.
Okay.
They feel hopeless. That's terrible. They just feel like they're in a tunnel and they can't get out. They've dug a hole and they can't get out. So they just feel totally hopeless. They have no reason to live. They feel like they're being a burden to others. That was big with Emily. They feel trapped, nothing they can do. And it's just unbearable pain. It's not a physical pain. It's just you ache. You just ache for that person. That person just aches. They just don't know what to do. No medicine, unless they've sought help, will help. Okay, so the behavior, things that they may do, they use increased use of alcohol or drugs. She was constantly drinking. She was looking for a way to end her life, such as searching online for methods. So, I tell parents all the time, snoop. Go into the search history. Just snoop. They don't need to know. You might think it's, unfair to them. Well, this is your kid's life. Snoop.
Yeah.
Okay? Another thing is withdrawing from activities. She was so active. She'd meet her girlfriends, and she'd She'd go to the gym and she'd go for walks. All that stopped. Isolating from family and friends. She didn't have any friends. They wanted her to be friends, but she didn't reciprocate. And that doesn't foster friendships. Visiting or calling people to say goodbye.
Oh my gosh.
She did that with my son, my daughter-in-law, my stepson, and of course they all called me. Giving away prized possessions, we talked about that. Being aggressive, she got very aggressive from time to time with me. One time a neighbor called the police.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. And very tired. Being emotionally tired really tires you out.
Yes, definitely.
And she couldn't hold a job. It was very sad.
Sleeping.
Sleeping, and then getting up in the middle of the night and cleaning the baseboards.
Wow.
Then the thing, what they say, what they do, and how they act. Depression. Depression. 94%, I think, of all people who have taken their lives have been clinically depressed.
Wow.
But they have to seek the help. It took over a year and a half for us to find the right medicine to tackle Emily's depression. It's a hit or miss in the beginning, and they can't tolerate certain things, but we found it, so it was all good. The anxiety, of course, loss of interest in anything, irritability. She had so much shame and so much humiliation, which gets back to feeling like you're being a burden. Agitation and anger, always so angered. And then relief and sudden improvement. This is one to watch out for.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. When you notice that somebody has all these kinds of things, always down and all that, and then all of a sudden they're giddy. Do you know why that is?
They've
made a plan?
with it, made a plan.
Exactly, you're both right. They've made a plan. They've come to terms. They know now that tomorrow, after dinner, I'm going to kill myself.
Wow.
So watch out for the giddiness.
Okay.
Okay?
If you notice these signs, what's the first thing you should do?
You want to tackle that one?
Call 988.
Exactly. That's it. Exactly. That's what we want people to do.
Okay.
Call 988. This is happening. What do I do? Depending on how critical the situation is, they may tell you call 911 immediately. Be prepared. They're going to come with a siren on. That's their protocol.
Okay.
And 9 times out of 10, they'll come with a siren on. And even if you ask them, they're not going to be able to silence it. But that siren can be a trigger. It was a trigger, I know for a fact, at a suicide here in Statesville.
Wow.
When they heard the siren, okay, now, and they did it. So, yeah, call 988. And then they'll work you through, what would be the next step? Would it be take them to the ED? Because you want to talk about what the ED does?
Sure. So we actually get this question a lot, especially now that, Iredell is part of Iredell Davis Behavioral Health. So a lot of people ask us, they have friends or family members that they think need to have some sort of inpatient mental health care, behavioral health care. But the way that works is usually what has to happen is if you or someone that you love or know is at risk of taking their own life or harming themselves or others, then call 911 or show up at the emergency department, and then they do an evaluation. There are certain areas of the emergency room. When Iredell remodeled, I guess that was, probably 2 years ago now. When that was
long.
Yeah, that part was finished. There's a specific area of the emergency department that is particularly safe for patients that might be having these suicidal ideations, and there are people that are surrounding them and getting them the help they need, and then determining what the next best steps are for them. So sometimes that results in going somewhere like Iredell Davis, and sometimes it's not. So it just depends.
Sometimes they can go home. Sometimes they're there for 3 days before there's a bed available somewhere. But the ED at Iredell, it's amazing now, I think, with the, it used to be you go in there and they strip you down and make sure you don't have anything sharp and all that kind of stuff, and leave you in a room with a locked door and a window so everybody can see you. Ugh. So now it's much better. I mean, you go in and they do an assessment, and an evaluation, and they're looking not just at depression, but is this potential suicide?
Yeah.
And that makes such a huge difference. So going to the ED is another example. 988, 911, the ED, and then you determine what is the plan. You hook up with a doctor, you get the counseling, and it's not a quick fix. You have to be committed to it.
Yeah.
It may cost you some money, but it's not a quick fix, and it does require attention, a lot of attention. It can be done. It's wonderful to see somebody go from where Emily was to her life today. I mean, it's just completely.
You must be proud of her.
I am so incredibly proud of her.
I'm proud of her too, and I don't even know her that well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her. She's an RN.
Very good.
She's a charge nurse.
Good.
And she loves her job. She loves her daughter, and she loves her wife, and things are great for her.
That's so good.
Awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
Susan, what would you say to someone that's watching right now that feels hopeless? What would you say to them?
You're not alone.
Yeah.
There are millions of people on this globe who feel the way you do. But you have to tell them you are not alone. I am here, for one.
Yeah.
I have a sweatshirt that says, I am here. I have time to listen.
Yeah.
And that's so true. You just take the time, you listen, and there is if you go to afsp.org,
Okay.
there is a great process to how do you have a meaningful conversation.
Oh.
And if you come to any of our events, we give you the process. But what are the questions you ask? You don't want to judge. You don't want them to be intimidated. When you feel like you're comfortable with this questioning process to help find out how you can get them help, you have to ask the question, are you thinking about harming yourself?
Really?
Yeah. You have to ask that question. When I asked that question of Emily, it was like the weight of the world came off her shoulders.
Wow. Because I know that there's the myth that saying something like that to them
That's-
would put it in their head or.
No. To her, it was,
You see me?
you see me. You see what I'm going through. You understand what it is. You care about me enough to ask and to offer to help. I know I am not alone.
So did she answer you honestly
Yes.
in that moment? I
She
was
said-
thinking about, I was thinking about different people in my life, especially like teenagers, right? And if you say that to them, like, will they be like, brush it off, like, no, they're fine, sort of thing. But
Some of them will, but if you've seen warning signs, you know they're lying.
yeah, okay, good to know.
Yeah, she, when I asked her that question, she said every single day.
Oh my gosh.
Which is very scary because, the more I learned about suicidal ideation, the more I learned about this impulsivity. So if she was thinking about it every single day, what day is it going to be the impulse? Any day,
Terrifying.
you know?
Yeah.
So, we had to jump on it.
Wow. We are so out of time.
Oh, darn.
I know. We might have to have another episode talking more about this. This is
Well, let's go through the resources real quick. And
Yes,
we'll put them in
yes,
the show
please.
notes too. So 988 call anytime 24/7. Someone licensed is there. You can text talk to 741-741.
Yes.
So if you would prefer to text, AFSP.org, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention has tons of resources.
It's
Yeah,
loaded.
lots.
It's absolutely loaded. There's nothing you can't find. You can find everything.
And then there's sometimes local trainings.
Yes.
yeah.
And we'll definitely share those on some of our social pages as they come.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I get calls all the time from organizations. I do a lot of work with churches. This new program called It's Real for Teens. I want to start working with the pastors to get into their youth groups.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So we'll do that. And then I've done all the Rotaries. And I'm doing an exchange club, and I think that's the only exchange club that's left
Awesome.
to
Good.
do. So, programs are going on all the time.
So how does somebody get a hold of you if they're interested? If there's a pastor listening that says, yes, I want her to come to my youth group or whatever it is.
I am not shy about giving out my phone number.
Okay.
704
Okay.
450
Okay.
6162.
And
You want my
put that-
email?
Yeah.
Sure.
B as in Bob, S as in Susan, TOLLE at bellsouth.net.
Kicking it old school with that email, Susan.
What's that?
Kicking it old school with that,
Oh, yeah.
that email.
I'm waiting for it to just expire.
Yeah.
All right. So call you, text you, email you, let them know who they are, and you heard about it on the podcast and want to learn about more and what they can do to help people out.
And if you want a program and you can't reach me or anything, you can always go to afsp.org and go to request a program.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
So go
Fantastic.
there too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This has been incredible, and I hope that everyone out there listening, whether for a friend or for themselves, they've taken away something that can truly save lives.
Yeah. Remember, you're not alone.
You're not
You
alone.
are not alone, but please learn those warning signs.
Absolutely. Well, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
The content here is for informational and educational purposes only, not for medical advice. Consult your qualified healthcare professional for specific health concerns and questions.